Time to get green lighted before I actually start. Oh, my neck hurts. Come on. Come on, YouTube. There we are. Now hopefully I can get through like 2 or 3 chapters within the over 2 hours I have before I go to work.
I'll cut through.
I'll give it my all.
Stay focused.
Ready.
I'll go.
Here goes.
What should I do?
I'm on it.
Here we go.
Over already.
Thank goodness. Feeling strong. That should... I'm up for it.
Let's win this already.
Hey, Sothis.
That was tough.
You never had a chance. Just give up.
Huh, thanks.
This
Such. Need some help?
let's crush that one as expected.
Stay vigilant.
What's done is done.
They all need to level up quite balanced. It's like level 6, level 4, level 8, level 8, level 4, level 5, level 3. These 3 need to level up the most out of every character I've currently got available.
Use caution.
Each battle, a chance to grow. Wait for me!
Our strategy is solid.
I did what I had to. I had no choice.
There we are.
Not so sure about this. It's not over yet. You can...
appreciate.
I'm... Ah. That was...
This will... It was... It was... A new...
Thanks.
That's it. I'm.
That worked out well.
It's all... Thank you.
Oh, Dimitri.
Good morning, Your Highness. Getting in some early training, huh?
Oh, it's not too terribly early. And what about you?
Oh, I'm just going for my morning walk. Hey, maybe you'd like to join me. It's a great way to start the day.
Morning walk? Funny. Gustav always kept the same habit. You really do remind me of your father, Annette.
I
Hey!
do that a lot. Father was always busy with work, so he wasn't around much. But when he was home, he'd often take me with him for his walks.
Annette, something's been weighing on me. Something I've done terribly wrong. Your father, he worked tirelessly. I don't know if I ever saw him take a rest. I feel as though, in a way, we stole him from you.
I'll admit, it was a bit lonely growing up. But I understand. Father loved his work. No one ever doubted that.
Yeah, it was
Actually,
very obvious
I've been
too.
thinking recently that I'd like to talk to you more, Your Highness.
Oh? Any reason in particular?
Father was a man of few words, both with myself and my mother. But sometimes he would tell me about you. So, you don't really feel like a stranger to me. In a way, it's like I've known you for a long time. Almost as though you're my big brother.
No.
Your big brother?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I let that slip out. That was rude of me.
No, nonsense. I promise you, I don't mind at all. It's certain that my days would have been filled with more fun if I'd had a little sister like you. What kind of things did Gustav tell you about me? I'd love to hear more on this topic.
Do you really want to know? Well, for one, he used to tell this story about when you were a child and...
You know what? Never mind. I have a bad feeling about where this is going.
Ah!
How about you forget we had this talk altogether? And don't mention it to anyone.
What happened, Dimitri? Is there something you don't want us to know? Because I want to know. Especially considering, you know, in this playthrough I'm your teacher, which only makes it funnier. Oh god.
Mercedes, you look divine as always. Are you off to pray?
Oh, hello, Sylvain. I was just on my way to pray. How did you guess?
Because you're a
Well,
devout.
because I've been watching your lovely...
Oh, I get it. You're the type who's always looking at girls, aren't you?
I won't lie, I do enjoy beholding women, but I don't mean it like that with you. I know I sound like a dope. I think you're special.
That's bullshit.
Oh, really? You think I'm so clumsy that I need someone to watch over me. Is that why you can't take your eyes off me?
You're beautiful, and I mean that. You're... how can I put it without sounding even worse? Okay, here goes. I want to get to know you better. As friends, I mean.
I don't know where to begin.
Well,
I like to pray. I've been praying regularly since I was a child.
you grew up in the Empire, didn't you?
Yes.
That's right. I was raised in House Bartels.
Bartels? I thought you were born to House Martreats.
It's a complicated story. I'm not sure that it's a very interesting one, but I'm happy to share it with you.
I don't mean to be nosy, if it's too personal.
Oh no, I don't mind. I wasn't trying to hide anything from you. House Martreats fell shortly before I was born.
Oh.
Well,
My father passed away while my mother was still pregnant with me, so she had nowhere to go. After I was born, my mother ended up marrying the head of House Bartels. Shortly after, my mother bore a true Bartels child who bore a crest. She and I were treated as though we were no longer useful to the family after that.
You think the Bartels were just using her to secure a crest?
They must have been. My mother and I were removed from the family and forced to flee to a church in the kingdom. I abandoned the Bartels name and took up our old family name again.
So you grew up in a church. Okay, it makes more sense now why you're praying all the time.
Yes, oh, praying! I forgot that I was on my way to pray.
oh, poor Mercedes.
Right, and I interrupted you. Well, see you around, Mercedes.
Yes, see you.
House Bartels wanted a crest, and ruined other people's lives to get one. These idiots are all the same.
A bit of earnesty from Sylvain at the end of that. It is a shame, though. Like, I want Ash to be able to shoot down his own death. I'm so dark, but God. It will be funny. I'll make for a funny moment. Since they're gonna have dialogue. They're definitely going to.
Welcome. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. 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 Is that the one? Thanks a bunch.
Shit.
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. 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 Come back.
Stay focused.
Here goes.
I'll go.
Thank goodness.
I'll cut through.
Ready.
What should I do?
Here we go.
I'm on it. I'll give it my all. Too easy. I can feel the difference.
Yay, Byleth.
Such.
That worked out. I got it.
Who's next?
Let's keep our guard up. You can rely.
What's next? I like how this...
Nuh-uh. What's done is done.
Oh yeah?
Everyone.
Sorry about that.
The better.
No hard feelings. Oh, I won!
Ha!
You can.
That didn't work, did it? Ass.
The fight continues. My left.
Oh my eye.
got too cocky.
Had to be done. I'm getting...
A threat eliminated. I suppose I've improved.
Be mindful. As expected. I still...
I owe you one.
I'm on it.
That was tough. I have... You're out of luck.
Whoops. Got...
Yes. Yeah. Professor.
That's it.
I've got it. So this is how...
This isn't so hard.
I'm getting the hang of this.
I'll cut through. I will get...
I'll give it my all.
Here goes.
I'll go.
Ready.
What should I do?
I'm on it.
I will.
I must steel myself.
Who's next?
Here we go.
I had no choice.
Stay focused.
Be gone.
Good job, Sylvan.
This is.
You never had a chance.
Forgive me.
Why am I even here?
Let's keep our guard up.
Who's next?
Proceed with caution.
I'll go. I can.
Here goes. Gotta stay focused.
Proceed with caution. Proceed with caution.
I'll cut through.
Stay focused.
I'll give it my all. I won that?
I'm on it.
Here we go. It's not over yet. I won't.
eliminated.
Here goes. Can't afford to lose. Everyone will...
I can still serve. Sufficient.
There we are.
I will.
Oh.
Good result.
Oh.
Dear Goddess, please protect us.
Mercedes.
Oh, Dudu. Was there something you needed?
His Highness sent me to collect you.
I see. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm almost finished here.
You were praying.
I was. Praying for everyone's safety. And praying for good desserts tonight. And that my next exam goes well.
The Fodlan goddess will accept prayers of any sort.
Well, it's technically the goddess of that entire world, not just Ferdland.
It's true. I've thought the same thing myself. That reminds me, Dudu. Weren't you born in Duskur?
Yes.
Do the people of Duskur pray to the goddess too?
Duskur had a very different view of religion.
Oh?
In Duskur, there were many gods. The sky had a god. The earth had a god. We made offerings to the war god for victory in battle. Held feasts for the sea god to calm the waves.
So your people prayed to different gods depending on what they needed?
Correct.
Your beliefs sound so different from ours. Tell me more.
Why? Duskur is a ruin.
Duskur may be gone, but you're still here. Would you tell me more about it the next time we meet?
If you insist.
Really? That would be great.
Realistically, it's not
I'm
that
looking
off.
forward to hearing more soon.
Duskur is gone, but I'm still here.
Realistically, she wasn't far off of the reality as well. Neither were they. It's like, Sothis is clearly the goddess, but all of her quote-unquote children, based on what the signs suggest, all had their own elements and type. One of which being Seiros is the sky dragon. And Keyhole would be the earth dragon. so they all had their own designated elements. Despite they were all created from Sothis somehow, I'd assume. Since Seiros mentions that they were the children of the goddess. Doesn't mention how they came to be, though. I'm interested. Oh god. Felix, don't hurt people.
Today's dinner is steak and then a cake that's yummy yum. Now it's time to fill my tummy tum.
Oh my god.
Oh, this mountain of...
No.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
I'm glad you interrupted.
Felix, you weren't listening, were you?
I heard enough to know that you're hungry.
No, I mean, well, yes. At least tell me you didn't see the dance.
You have nice footwork. Get something to eat. I can take over watering the plants.
That's nice of you, Felix.
You're evil, Felix!
What?
And you're shouting.
You can't just spy on people while they're singing without even saying anything. It's not right.
I actually did call out that I was coming in. It's not my fault you didn't hear.
Well, you need to speak louder then. Ugh, this is so embarrassing. And of course I was singing some silly food song I made up. I should have been singing about bears.
I didn't realize there were songs about bears and swamp beasties. That food song seemed to be close to your heart. Your stomach isn't far from your heart, after all.
Oh, you are the worst!
Huh. What was that about?
I feel bad for Felix. He didn't actually do anything wrong here. I was expecting him to be a prick. He was actually pretty good here.
I better water these plants. Wouldn't want them to get thirsty, or they might start singing too.
Ha! Ha! God. Yes, Felix, yes.
Hello, Ingrid. Can I have just a teeny tiny moment of your time?
Sure, I can spare a moment or two.
I was wondering, do you have any interest in fashion and makeup and stuff like that?
No. No, she doesn't.
I haven't the time to bother with such frivolities. As long as basic hygiene is being met, then I'm happy.
Oh, but you're missing out on something so fun.
It's not fun.
It's not like you need it, of course. You've got beautiful bone structure, lovely hair, long legs, but aren't you interested in trying something new?
Well, thank you. I suppose I do find it all somewhat intriguing. But my time is precious to me, and my focus is on knighthood. Taking time to paint my face simply isn't a top priority.
Sure, but imagine if you could combine the two and become the most fabulous knight ever.
What a waste
Okay,
of time.
maybe I'm taking it too far. I know knights don't necessarily need a ton of makeup or things like that for the job. I'm just saying, I really think you'd enjoy it if you opened your mind to it. All I'm talking about is a light touch. I can see it now. Your gorgeous face done up with a delicate application of makeup. The fabulous knight who everyone looks up to and wants to be.
Well, maybe? I guess. That does sound mostly harmless.
Hooray! Okay, we don't have a moment to lose. Here, take this makeup kit, play around with the colors, and see what speaks to you.
Now, wait just a...
I actually got that little kit as a gift the other day, and I wasn't sure what to do with it because I already have that one. It's a limited palette, but I think it fits the look you're going for perfectly.
I actually never agreed to start putting that stuff on my face, Annette.
What? Oh, well then, I guess this whole kit will have to go to waste. I'll just throw it away like the garbage it is.
You're throwing it away? I can't just stand by and let something go to waste. Okay. Alright. Thank you. We can do this.
That's the spirit! Oh, and I'm happy to help you learn to apply it too. Come on, let's go to my room. I have some brush techniques to show you before you get started.
Now, don't get carried away. Ugh. She played me like a fiddle.
Yeah. She should have just offered you food. That would have been the easiest way to convince you. You know what? Whatever. Okay. Time to kill Ash's dad. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Thank you so much.
I have to say, it's a real honor to accompany such a brave and distinguished knight. None other than Catherine, wielder of Thunderbrand.
Thunderbrand?
You mean you don't know? My weapon is called Thunderbrand. It's one of the hero's relics.
Yeah, it's one of the, yeah, okay.
A long, long time ago, the goddess bestowed divine weapons upon 10 heroes, which were passed down to their descendants.
I doubt that.
It's an honor to wield, but I'm afraid there won't be any chance for that today. Our mission is to help clean up the aftermath, not to fight.
Why would Lenato incite such a reckless rebellion?
Aww.
You should know more about that than any of us, Ash.
Well, I don't. Lenato never mentioned anything of the like to me.
He probably didn't want you getting caught up in his own personal vendetta.
How much do you know about the tragedy of Dusker, Professor?
Nothing, really.
It's when the king of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus was murdered by the people of Dusker. It happened about 4 years ago.
It's okay, Catherine. Please, go on.
Right. Well, Lord Lenato's son, Kristoff, was accused of being involved in that whole awful affair. He was executed by the church. Speaking from the church's perspective, we simply passed judgment according to our doctrine in place of the kingdom, which was in complete chaos. Whatever the truth behind that incident may be, Lord Lenato has harbored resentment toward the church ever since. Well, to be more specific, his grudge isn't only against the church. It's also against the one who turned Kristoff over to them.
Report! The enemy is approaching. They can't be avoided. Their numbers are far greater than we predicted. They used the fog to slip past the Knight's perimeter.
It looks like our mission just changed, Professor. Everyone, prepare for battle! With this fog, it's impossible to tell where the enemy might be. The enemy could be... Proceed with caution.
Stay focused.
I'll cut through.
I'm on it.
Here we go.
Ready.
What should I do?
I'll go.
Here goes.
I'll give it my all.
Lord Lenato doesn't deserve such sadness and anger. Now it's your turn to suffer.
Why, Lenato? Why did you drag so many others into this?
Revenge.
You think we're just gonna do nothing while you try to kill our lord?
You're too slow!
Good, horsey.
Stay down!
And a crit. Your crit is shit than mine when I get my weapon out later on.
Saw that coming. Lord Lenato, please don't die.
Dimitri's fucking
I am
powerhousing.
sorry. But did you really think you would get away with this? Shot!
I won't let you anywhere near Lord Lonato!
Here it comes.
It's you. Thunderstrike Cassandra. It was your wretched zealotry that killed my son!
The only name I answer to is Catherine. Prepare to taste the blade of one who serves the goddess. Now you face a knight of Seiros!
The fog is cleared. There's nothing left to hide you or the filthy Central Church from the judgment of the goddess.
Good sign.
I can still serve. What should I do?
I'll do my best. Ready.
I apologize, Your Highness. It is regrettable that we should cross swords like this.
Lonato, I sympathize with your position. I really do. I have no wish to kill you, but I'm afraid you have left me no choice. Please, forgive me.
No.
Your Highness, I cannot stop here. For my child, and for the people of Fodlan. If you will not stand aside, then I have no choice but to cut you down.
Slow.
You have lost. You want to fight me?
Stand down, Ash. I must destroy these evildoers by any means necessary.
No.
Please surrender, Lonato. Whatever your reasons for doing this, we can still talk it out.
Rhea is an infidel who has deceived the people and desecrated the goddess. We have virtue and the goddess herself on our side.
That's not... Nah.
Even if all that's true, dragging the townsfolk into it like this isn't right.
Enough. If that is how you feel, prepare yourself. I'm putting an end to this.
Damn it. I can make catch killers now. Bye-bye.
That vile woman. Christoph, forgive me.
I'm a horrible person.
Lonato,
I never thought I'd see Lonato meet this fate.
By his own son.
Well done, everyone. Let's gather our troops and go.
Victory.
Why did this happen? Lonato was always such a kind man. Everyone in the village was so nice to me, and I killed them. I killed them all.
No, Ash. I'm sorry, I made you kill it.
I had to. I know I had to. I know that. But still, what does that make me?
A good boy.
Please, don't beat yourself up, Ash. We did what had to be done.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be bothering you.
No, that's not...
I'm going to check on the town. I hope my brother and sister are okay.
That was my first time killing civilians, too. Those who I'm sworn to protect.
It was a necessary sacrifice. This is the reality of war.
Are you insane? Those weren't knights or soldiers, but fathers and sons! We shouldn't have killed them! We should have found another way! I'm sorry. It's not fair for me to blame you for the circumstance.
Yeah.
I know that if we hadn't done what we did, even more civilian lives would have been lost. At least my mind understands that, but my heart...
No.
Professor, those in power, no matter the era, always claim they fight for a just cause, that they take life to protect it. But is it truly okay to take any life you please, all in service of some implacable just cause?
Not really, but unfortunately, that is the shitty way of the world. That is the reality people go by. They want to justify their own existence as well, which only makes it worse.
Lord Lonato didn't take up arms out of a lust for power. He simply believed his cause to be just. Who's to say it wasn't? Maybe we didn't have to cut him down like that. Maybe we could have reached a mutual understanding, found a path of peace.
Not really, because he wanted to harm Rhea and the others because his son was executed. There was vengeance in his cause. That is why it was just to him.
I have to believe that. Perhaps the notion sounds laughable to you. Mere lip service to naive ideals. But I can't believe otherwise.
You're a good boy, Dimitri.
Sorry to intrude, but this incident may be more serious than anticipated. I found this on Lord Lonato. It's a note that mentions a plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. We can't tell who sent it, so the source is suspect, but the content is too disturbing to ignore. We must report this to Lady Rhea right away. I hope that it's nothing.
I am glad to see that you have returned safely. The goddess is gracious with her divine protection.
Yeah, I'll say.
But it was not only her divine protection that shielded you, was it? You are just as skilled as I had hoped. I am not so sure. I heard some of the students were hesitant about fighting militia.
That's because half of them are from the country they came from.
However, we must punish any sinner who may inflict harm upon believers, even if those sinners are civilians.
Or land.
I pray the students learned a valuable lesson about the fate that awaits all who are foolish enough to point their blades towards the heavens.
Our real concern is what Catherine reported. The secret message that was in Lord Lenato's possession. It contained a deplorable plot to target the Archbishop on the day of the goddess's rite of rebirth. The plan seems unrealistic at best, but a threat is a threat. We must maintain constant vigilance. To that end, I would like for you and your students to help with security on the day of the ritual.
That is most reassuring. You have my gratitude.
The rite of rebirth is of paramount importance. It is when the Church of Seiros and its believers unite to pray for the return of the goddess. The Archbishop and I will be confined to the Goddess Tower once the ritual begins. Of course, the knights will be on high alert as well, but there aren't enough of them to keep watch on every corner of the monastery. It is far from ideal to be forced to mobilize students, but the gravity of this situation requires that we all bend to avoid it.
While there is no need to fear for my safety, we cannot turn a blind eye to those who would blaspheme so heinously.
With any luck, this will all be for naught. Still, be on your guard.
Okay.
Part 1. White Clouds. Blue Sea Moon. The Goddess's Rite of Rebirth. As the sun grows stronger and the nights grow ever shorter, the Blue Sea Star returns to the sky once more. Believed to be the goddess's home, her followers look to the star and commence celebrations of her rebirth. On the grounds of Garreg Mach Monastery, a grand ceremony is held in honor of this much-anticipated event. Every true follower of the Church of Seiros is sure to be in attendance.
We see that the goddess herself wears clothing and well, more she's adorned with accessories that mark out a star.
Thanks.
Sure.
Perfect timing, Professor. If you don't mind, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you.
Okay.
It's in regard to sword training. Not for myself, but, well, to be honest, I've been teaching swordsmanship to the orphans at the monastery for a while now.
Aww.
Some of them saw me sparring with the knights one day. They started pestering me to teach them. They were so earnest, I couldn't help but oblige.
You're a good boy, Dimitri.
There's much I wish to show them, but due to my own studies and training, I'm afraid my time is rather limited. Which brings me to my favor. Your swordsmanship is unmatched. I hate to ask this of you, but would you consider lending me a hand?
I'll lend you both.
Thank you, truly. I am in your debt, and I always repay my debts, I'll have you know. All of these children lost their families and homes to war or illness. This may sound a bit arrogant, but I feel it's my responsibility to help them. I lost my parents without warning, too. In that way, we're the same. In Dusker, I lost my father, stepmother, and closest friends. I didn't have many allies at the castle after that. In truth, I had only to do for companionship.
Is there no one else you can trust?
I once had people I could confide in. Family, friends, instructors, even the royal soldiers. But they were all taken away from me 4 years ago. But there were those outside the castle walls I was close to, such as Rodrigue. Pardon my rudeness. I meant Lord Rodrigue. He is my father's old companion, and the father of Felix. On the occasions he would visit the capital, he'd take me out hunting or on long horse rides. While Dedu is like a brother to me, Rodrigue is more like a second father. It might sound ridiculous, but he's the kind of man I hope to become one day.
Yeah, but the trailers show that you become a completely different kind of man to an extent.
Someone who helps others. Someone who can reach out and save a lost soul.
Is that going to be foreshadowing?
Oh, please, accept my apologies for boring you with my life story.
No, I find it very interesting, Dimitri. You have nothing to worry about.
In any case, don't forget your promise, Professor. I'm counting on you.
Sure.
I thought I heard someone. Are you here to train?
Yes.
Care to train with me? Waving the sword around alone is boring. And I'm tired of crossing swords with worthless opponents. But you seem like a worthy adversary. I've always been interested in your technique. You learned from the former captain of the Knights of Seiros, and traveled Fodlan fighting as a mercenary. Good sparring partners like you don't grow on trees. But know that I will beat you, and I will surpass your strength. Why? I never really thought about that. I learned to thrust a sword before I learned to write my name. Of course, my upbringing wasn't unique. That's how it is for all children in my country. You're no use if you can't swing a sword, however mighty your crest may be. It was the perfect environment for me. I could live free of stodgy values and virtues. Grow strong so you may live, and live to grow stronger. That's what I was taught. Why should I? Nothing's as important as the pursuit of strength.
Don't know about that.
But that's enough idle chatter. Take out your sword. My mind is emptied of all but the thrill of the challenge.
So, our task for this moon is to patrol and guard the monastery, to help put a stop to that assassination plot. The Knights will certainly have their hands full protecting Lady Rhea, and perhaps our enemy is counting on that.
My notes. What do you mean? I agree.
Please, elaborate.
Why would Lord Lonato be carrying around a secret note with an assassination plot written on it? Isn't it possible he hoped to monopolize everyone's attention with this alleged plot in order to distract from his true aim?
Maybe they're after the treasure vault. There's also lots of valuable stuff in the library and Professor Hanneman's quarters.
True. The monastery undoubtedly houses many weapons that rival even the hero's relics.
Whatever their aim, we can't allow any harm to come to the ladies of the monastery. I mean, what would I do with my spare time?
So then, shut up.
You mean to say we should search the monastery? Try to find what the enemy is truly after?
Yes. And we should be prepared to fight them as well, should it come to that. I wouldn't mind getting in some training, just in case.
A secret meeting, Professor? Oh, we haven't been introduced. I am Shamir.
Shamir is one of the Knights of Seiros, and this young man here is...
I work for Lady Rhea, and I'm Shamir's apprentice. Oh, the name's Cyril. Yep, I help Lady Rhea with all kinds of stuff. I've got to protect Lady Rhea, so that's why I've got to learn all I can from Shamir.
Cyril adores Rhea. That aside, if you need anything, ask.
That glitches into her hair. So does this one. That design game.
Okay.
I'm so...
It's all...
Hello, Felix. I see you're here to train as well.
Go away. Just looking at your face makes me want to retch.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Felix?
With that mouth of yours, you grow more like your brother every day.
Shut up. And stop walking around on your hind legs. You're not fooling me.
I cannot fathom why you seem to hate me so.
Because I know what you really are. A beast, craving blood.
And I'm assuming, considering, you know, the lovely scene we get in the trailer where he says for us to kill them all is a bit... it holds up.
A beast craving blood, am I? I assume you're speaking of the events 2 years ago, last time we met outside the academy?
I am. The way you suppressed that rebellion, it was ruthless slaughter, and you loved every second. I remember the way you killed your victims, how you watched them suffer. And your face, that expression, all the world's evil packed into it. That was our first battle. I remember it vividly. Oh, something wrong? Go ahead and deny it, you wild boar.
I deny nothing, Felix.
Well then. I suppose the Dimitri I once knew died during that slaughter in Dusker, along with my brother.
Ain't that a good sign?
Perhaps you're right.
Hurry up and get out of my sight. I don't make a habit of talking to beasts.
That's a good sign.
This tent is torn. Can you please fix this one first, Ash?
Absolutely.
Aw.
Sorry. I should probably take care of it myself, but we'd be here until sundown if I...
No problem at all. I've had lots of practice with things like this. Happy to help however I can.
You're a good boy, Ash.
Oh. Well, thanks. Actually, I'll fetch you something to make the job less of a burden. You like sweet things, right?
Well, yes. Sorry, no. I can't ask you to do that.
Ash, I've told you, there's no need to act like that.
I can't have someone from the royal family running errands for me. It doesn't feel right.
I really don't mind, so you needn't worry about that. And while I'm being candid, I'd prefer it if you didn't speak so formally to me. We're supposed to be allies. We fought side by side as equals, haven't we?
I know, but to commoners like me, you're royalty. Regular folks normally only lay eyes on someone like you once or twice in their whole lives.
I understand, I really do. When I ascend the throne, perhaps I should do a tour of each city.
What? No, that's not what I meant.
I'm at a loss. I wish to make things better, but I seem to only upset you more and more. That is certainly not my intention. Perhaps I should leave you be and take care of our shopping.
Please, I promise I'll go myself just as soon as I've finished with the tent.
Ash, enough! Okay. I've a question. Answer me this.
Okay.
I don't normally eat sweets. So what would you recommend?
Oh, well, if price isn't a concern for you, then you should go for the sugar candies. The ones they make in town are really delightful. Oh, Your Highness, please, you mustn't.
Got it. Sugar candies it is. I'll go and fetch some.
Your Highness, please come back. I'm so sorry. I'll make sure these repairs get done.
Ash. You try. You try hard. Oh.
At this time of year, the fish are fat. Simply grilling them will bring out their best flavor. Steaming them with herbs is delicious too.
Wow, you know a lot about this. I'm learning so much from you to do. Were you a cook at the castle in Ferdiad?
No.
No.
Did your family own an eatery of some kind?
No. My sister and I helped with cooking at home.
Wow, that's all? I thought I was confident about my skills, but next to you I feel like an amateur. Hey, could you give me some advice about other kinds of meat besides fish?
Ash.
Yes, Dudu?
Why do you spend time with me?
We're friends, right? I just want to get to know you better. Is that so odd?
I am from Dusker.
And?
So, look at me. I came from a life of poverty. I was lucky to even be let in here to study with all these high-class people. I think we have a lot in common.
Being poor and being from Dusker are two different things.
Oh, I know. But we can still be friends, can't we?
You are a peculiar person.
So I'm told.
He's just a nice person. Just accept it. Seen this one, though.
Feel it. Hi there, Ash. Here to do some reading as well, I take it?
Lost in a book.
Ash?
Huh, Ingrid, you gave me a start. How long have you been standing there?
Not too long. Apologies for startling you. Must be a great book for you to be so deeply engrossed in it. What has you so captivated?
Oh, it's quite an old book. One of the really old legends of Fargus.
Aha! It must be the Sword of Kaifon then, yes?
Oh, so you know it.
Oh, yes. I know it quite well. I read it often as a child. In fact, I read it so much that my personal copy fell apart. I brought it everywhere with me. I adore that book. The tale of the warrior Kaifon, whose devotion and loyalty enabled his best friend Lug to become king. He went to great lengths to see things through.
Exactly! I love the image of him charging forward into the fray, ready to take on any obstacle in the name of his king.
Indeed! He was the very picture of the perfect knight. In my opinion, the best chapter is right around the middle of the book.
Ah, the part about the war of the eagle and lion? That's my favorite part! In a flash, Kaifon's sword flew from its scabbard. The knight parried the assassin's blade mere inches from the spine of his king.
Kaifon's blade hummed like the wind, slashing the enemy's throat. In mere moments, their forces lay vanquished, decimated by his mighty blows.
God, these two are... wow.
I never grow weary of that tale. The pinnacle of knighthood, with all its struggles and glory.
I know just what you mean. I never get tired of it. Some people laugh at me for reading these old tales, but I'll never outgrow them. I'm glad to find someone who shares my enthusiasm.
I'm glad of it as well. Tell me, what other books do you enjoy, Ash?
Well, the first one I ever read was Lug and the Maiden of Wind.
Maiden of Wind, huh?
You have fantastic taste. That story is another favorite. The final chapter makes me tear up every time.
I know. When I first read it, I just couldn't get that ending out of my head.
It seems we have much in common. I look forward to chatting again sometime.
I'd love to. Yes, let's.
No. Happy people, good. A little bit of happiness. And here she is.
A hero's relic. However, could I know something? Still, it is heavy on my mind. The stone within the sword. A glow of red. Oh, it is nothing.
Let's just... She's looking at me like I'm the intruder in my own damn room. Oh, okay, so I can buy all of them back individually if I really want to. Cursed items. I do need to at some point buy all of those, because they intrigue me a lot. I need to get through all the conversations and quests before I at least go to work. Or at least I want to try to.
Right now is, hey, I get hungry sometimes. Like anyone else. What? Eating at night is bad for you? There's no way that's true. Wait, really?
It kinda is, because you're meant to work off the calories that you gain. Otherwise you gain weight. And it's digestion time. While you're not actually active. Sometimes it can cause cramping.
What the?
Maybe it would be terrible. This so many. Okay. Maybe.
Hey, Professor. I hope you're well.
Thank you. You're not hitting on me for once.
As for me, I had a date with a splendid specimen of a knight. But now he's suddenly not in the mood to see me again.
Oh, really? It's doing